As a kid, you went to see a movie, and when you got home, you wanted to recreate that movie the best way you could. Well, if you didn't have action figures, you could play the board game. It was never anything close to the movie. Let's take a look at some vintage movie board games. I used to think they called them board games because they came with a board. And then I just realized it's a fancy way of saying it's a boring game. Because let's be honest, most board games, unless it's maybe that Mad Magazine board game, they're boring board games. And today, we're going to look at ones based on movies. And I realized I did a video a while back based on board games based on television shows. And I was like, well, why did I look at movie ones? I've talked about the Star Wars ones, of course. Today, we're not going to look at any of the Star Wars ones because I've done videos on that. But we're going to dig into some movies that had board games. Some of them I bet you didn't even know they made. And then we're going to look at one starring Harrison Ford that almost got made. Oh, I've teased you good, hadn't I? Let's take a look at them. It seems like every time I do a video, this ugly orphan redhead comes up. I know it was a hit movie, I guess, but God, did they action figure line? Yeah, action figures, watches, puzzles. Annie, who wants any crap? Look at this crap. Annie, what you gotta do? Try to get adopted? How about this right here? E.T. As big as a hit game, you know that was gonna be a movie. E.T. The extra testicle. You know, you never see E.T. in anything anymore. No. That little alien they hired to play E.T., he hadn't showed up in any other movies. You think now he would have been a big star. Nope, one and done. One and done when it comes to E.T. I think his name was Carl in real life. Then we have Alien. I had this one. It sucks. I tried to play it one time. I think me and my buddy Russ tried to play it. It's bad. It's up there with the Escape from Death Star Star Wars game. Oh, it's a cool looking cover because it looks like it has the action figure on the package, doesn't it? But it doesn't look like the big tall one. It looks like a regular action figure. Crazy. But there it is, released from Kenner. And then we have Thunderball. That's right, James Bond. Man, did you know that there was more than one James Bond? Yep, did you know? I'm sure you know Roger Moore played James Bond. We know that. Of course, Sean Connery, Timothy Dalton. You know that. Who else was there? Oh, yeah, Pierce Bronson. Yeah, Remington Steele. But did you know? Here's one you didn't know. I bet you didn't know because he only did one James Bond movie. George Lindsay played James Bond in one movie. One movie. Oh. Goober's James Bond. I bet you didn't know that.
Your film knowledge is impressive.
Yeah, it is. Well, George Lindsay, this isn't based on the George Lindsay movie. And then we have Grease. People love Grease. My sister really liked Grease. I was like, why are these 40-year-olds in high school? I could never get into Grease. I can't really get into music. I don't like musicals. I was like, where's the music coming from? Why ain't people staring at these people and just start singing? It was just too confusing for me. Then we've got The Wizard of Oz. Oh, I hope on this one you got to find Dorothy's red shoes and take her back home. Remember those rare Air Jordans she had? Get Dorothy home. Look at the Scarecrow. What's his name? Oh, the lion. Looks like he's tiptoeing through the tulips. Then we have Three Men on a Horse. Now this is based on a Warner Brothers movie, a laugh hit. I don't know, maybe it's before my time. I did see a movie once called Three Men on a Horse, but that was a long time ago when the internet was a lot more fun. Then we have Superman 2. And I couldn't find a Superman 1 board game or a 3. But there we go, Superman 2 with those three bad guys that was locked in glass. Remember that? And there's Margot Kidder. Oh, Superman, who's got you? Who's got me? Remember that? When she was falling off the building, she's like, oh, you got me, who's got you? That sounded more like a tattoo guy from Fantasy Island. Sorry about that. Then we got The Sting. And this Paul Newman movie, all right? Oh, if I'm not, you're going to let me know in the comments. The Sting. I see some fake money. Always a good board game when you got some fake money. And by good board game, I mean it sucks. It's boring because none of them's good. Then we've got Planet of the Apes. You don't see no Charlton Heston on the box. That guy did not want his face anywhere on this stuff. The figure that wasn't even based on him. Well, there we go. Planet of the Apes. Man, when people talk about, Star Wars was the first movie that really had merchandising. No, go look at Planet of the Apes. They killed merchandising with Planet of the Apes. It was so much. It was almost like Gene Simmons was behind the scenes working on Planet of the Apes. And then we got, I'm going to say it wrong. Crawl. I don't know. Is that Liam Neeson? I don't know. I remember the movie, and whenever I brought this board game up and everything, people was like, oh my God, I didn't know they made that. So there you go. I remember it has like a Owen star in it. That's all I remember. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I didn't have this. I want this. I like the box art. The box art looks pretty darn cool. Indiana Jones is made by LJN. You knew they made toys. You knew they made video games. But did you know they made board games? Well, they did, because they made Temple of Doom action board game. And Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now, I had a Raiders one. It wasn't this one right here, but I think it might be the same game. But this is Indiana Jones from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Close your eyes, Marion. Don't look at it. It's a boring board game. Then we've got Escape from New York. Yeah. This ain't like released in the 2000s. This is I'm not looking at newer stuff. They did an Escape from New York board game. What's it about? I'm not really sure, but I guess your character's got to escape. Probably from New York. Then we have Dune. That's not much on that box. I don't have no age or nothing on it, but there you go. Dune. I know a lot of you are into Dune. I haven't seen the old Dune. I haven't seen the bad Dune. I've never seen the old Dune or the new Dune. I think I've seen a little bit of the old ones here and there when it was on HBO, but I never really sit down and watched it. Man. Well, there we go. Dune the board game. That's a cool box art right there. And how about this? Starship Troopers, released in the 90s, like the movie was, is a board game for 2 to 4 players. Got to be 10 or older to play it. And look at that picture. Look, they just grabbed something off of DVD. It's like, pause DVD right there, screenshot that, let's put it on the box. Then you have the Goonies. Yeah, Goonies don't die, they multiply. Remember they used to say that? Hey, we're the Goonies, we don't die, we multiply. And look at it right in the middle. It's got that crazy guy with the weird football-looking head and a little bit of hair on top. Look, like Donald Trump hair. That's not getting political. I'm not getting political. I'm just saying it looks like Donald Trump hair. Don't at me in the comments below. But there we go, the Goonies. Oh, man. Hope it comes with a Cyndi Lauper character. Then we have Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Sadly, couldn't find a Terminator 1 board game. What gives? But there it is. I guess you got to rescue John Connor or something. And there's John Connor and Sarah Connor standing in front of some fire. I wonder what's going on there. Then you have Tron. I know it's a weird looking art, but it's Tron board game. Assault on MCP. I don't know what MCP is, but they're going to be on an assault for it. Ideal Toys made this. Did you know they even made board games? And please don't tell me in the comments what And please, in the comments, don't tell me what MCP stands for. And then we got The Dark Crystal. I could never watch this movie because it was so freaky looking. I was like, they look like rats, but they also look kind of like camels. I was like, this is just too much. He was asking too much for me to sit in the theater and see this. It was just too strange. I just wanted to touch their face and poke it. Just, but I knew there's no way I could do it on a movie screen. Then we have, this is the Raiders I had. Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't know if it's the same game, but this one says Kenner on it. I don't know if it's the same game. It's almost the same name. Raiders of the Lost Ark board game. I can't remember much about it. I remember playing it by myself, to be honest, not by the rules or anything. Nobody would play it with me. I just remember put the pieces on it and make it up my own little adventure with it. And I can remember putting my Indiana Jones action figures on it also. I was a dumb kid. And then we have Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And it looks like it might be one of the most boringest board games ever. Because you know what? Let's be honest. This movie is probably the best, greatest, most boringest movie ever. Not saying it's bad, but it's pretty boring for a good movie. Let's be honest. If you haven't seen it, I'll go watch it and tell me I'm not. Tell me I'm not. Tell me. Then we got Home Alone 2. Yep, the adventure again. These parents lost his kid twice. I think you need to call Child Protective Services, man. This one talks. It's got some little 3D characters on it. Awesome. Then you have Home Alone 1. Actually, I put that one first, then talk about the second one. But nope, there we go. Look at old Marv. Got a picture of an iron hit him in the face. Oh, that's funny. Hitting somebody in the face with an iron. Don't seem too funny to me. And then we have Batman Returns. This is from Batman Returns. I know it's hard to see right there. It says in the corner Batman Returns. Well, unless that does it. And it's a 3D board game. And look at Catwoman right there looking all sexy. Man, there's Michael Keaton dressed up like the Batman. And then we have Jurassic Park. Oh, the movie thrilled you. The game will chill you. No, it wanted to make you bored as crap. And look at the T-Rex on there. Why is he looking like he stepped on a thorn or something? He looks like he hurt his foot. Weird. Then we have The Hunt for Red October. This is where you go, Junkman, you being fun. You made that spoil shot, Junkman. That was a good one. You almost got me on that one. No, they made this. A Hunt for Red October. I guess you got to find October. You're probably at the end of the game like, oh, man, I found Blue October. Well, I found the Red October. I won. Then we have Star Trek. Now, this is, because that's based on TV show. No, I know. It doesn't say the motion picture, but it's based on the motion picture. It's got that bald-headed chick on it. And there we go. Look, I see Uhura. And something's on, what's on Dr. Is that... Can't tell if McCoy's got a face mask on or is that just a bad box. But there it is. You know this is boring. You know this game's going to be boring. What about this one right here? The Great Muppet Caper. Isn't that a movie? Is that the first movie they did? I know they did one with... they did a couple of movies. I mean, Big Bird had a movie too. Remember? Waylon Jennings was in it. I was like, man, that's funny. Waylon Jennings anyway. The Great Muppet Caper. Then we've got Who Framed Roger Rabbit? You play this game, maybe you're the one that framed him. Who knows? Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a board game. Why didn't we ever get a Roger Rabbit sequel? Why? I guess it's a good thing, because it probably wouldn't have been any good. So I don't know. So, and part of me is like, oh man, I wish we got more Roger Rabbits. And another part of me is like, good, one and done. We don't need more. Batman the Game. Again, they took this from Spaceballs. Spaceballs the game. Spaceballs the toilet paper. Spaceballs the magnet. Everything. But here it is, a Batman 1989 game. But I promised you I was going to show you one that almost got made, never did get released. And it stars Harrison Ford. Don't worry. It's not the Frisco Kid board game. I wish it was. I love the Frisco Kid. But check this out. Blade Runner board game. Yep, we almost got this. Now this is like a prototype box. Hopefully they would have done the box better because it was almost like the back of the box or something. But we never got it, so we'll never know exactly what the box of the game was going to be. But there it is. I think there's about 100 of these I read out there in the collectors' hands. I don't know who these collectors are. I always hear about their hands and how much they got rare stuff. But there we go. They almost had a board game to Blade Runner. And I got one more to look at. I guess technically you can say it's not a movie, but it's so cool I had to bring it up. Star Blazers. Star Blazers. Man, I love me some Star Blazers. Back in the 80s, I'd get home from school and watch some Star Blazers. Whew, I didn't even know they made action figures until I did a video on them. Wish I had those. Man, Star Blazers. Who watched it? Let me know in the comments below. Did you watch Star Blazers? You can even get you a Star Blazer shirt over at junkmanmerch.com. All shirts are $16 this weekend, depending on when you watch this video. Well, tell me about some of the board games. Did you have any of these here? Or maybe there's one based on a movie I forgot to talk about, and you can tell me. Now, keep it old. Don't tell me about something released in 2011 or nothing like that. Let me know that, and even more in the comments below.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.